This is John Riolo. Welcome to our Civil Discourse blog. Do you ever get the feeling that you may be living in a parallel universe or two different worlds from some of your friends? Recently, I was at my health club where they have TV sets, set up on the wall while you're doing your exercising. One day, a young woman came in enraged that the news station that was on the TV set was not set to Fox News. It had MSNBC. She insisted and went on that MSNBC is an extremely biased left-wing news organization and it's not really news and it can't be trusted. She demanded that we put on Fox News, which she felt was the only fair and unbiased news source on TV or any of the cable networks. Well, also, not long ago, a friend of mine and colleague, who I respect in many, many ways, criticized a fellow colleague because that colleague referred to the New York Times as left-leaning. Now, mind you, he didn't say that the New York Times was left-wing or a commie pinko news organization. He just said it was left-leaning. Now, I've never heard anybody refer to the New York Times as right-leaning, and people of good faith can legitimately argue whether the New York Times, as reputable as it is to many of us, is always unbiased. But that leads me to the issue is that these days, many of us get our news from one source or another that's tilted one direction or another. If you're conservative leaning, chances are you're getting your news from talk radio, Fox News, and blogs like Town Hall. On the other hand, if you're liberal or left-leaning, you get your news from NPR, the Huffington Post, MSNBC, and yes, the New York Times. But the problem is each of us sometimes tend to think that our news sources are unbiased and accurate, while the other guy's news sources are biased and hardly news at all. That's really part of the problem. Again, we're not listening to different opinions, but only opinions which tend to confirm what we believe or what we like to believe. Who said something, I think it was Lincoln, about a house divided? And surely today we are living in a house divided. Interestingly, the woman who demanded at the health club to have Fox News put on as opposed to MSNBC, at that time they were giving the business report. And these days, whether you watch Fox, MSNBC, or whatever, the business report is usually dismal. Sometimes both sides get it right. More often than not, however, on some things, one particular side may be more accurate and closer to the reality than the other. And sometimes they're both wrong. Really, we need to, in order to make informed decisions, whether it's about politics or anything else important in the news, we need to get as much information as possible and then make informed decisions. But we can't do that if we only listen to one particular slant or another. So, what's your opinion? Please comment on our blog and let us know. This is John Riolo for our Civil Discourse blog. Till next time.